Introduce to you a doctor, a passionate and purpose-driven medical doctor committed to advancing healthcare and transforming lives across Africa. She's committed to contributing to scientific knowledge through research with a clear vision for impact beyond borders. As envisioned by PASH, she is driven to contribute meaningfully to strengthening healthcare system across Africa and beyond. Hence, it is a privilege to have her at PASH. She's a writer and emerging digital marketer with strong interest in teenage development and health education. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than but Dr. Chiamaka Obodiazie. Dr. Chiamaka, you're most welcome. We welcome you as PASH, and I will give the microphone to you to have a word from you. Dr. Chiamaka, you're most welcome.
Okay. Good day, everyone. It's afternoon from here. I'm talking from Nigeria. So it's a privilege to be on this platform again. I want to thank the leadership, Mr. Pius and his team for doing a good job. I also want to thank the speakers that have spoken before now. I've really learned a lot of things and they're mind-blowing. So it's a privilege to be here. So I really want to thank you. Please give me a minute, let me settle. Okay, so I want to talk about Africa as a whole. Africa is a continent that I will call it the potential continent. Africa has a lot of possibilities. Things that if we harness well, they can become great assets tomorrow. We have vast natural resources, coal, we have oil, we have there are plenty natural gas, gold. There are plenty, like 40% of the world gold is from Africa, about 90% of platinum from Africa, and then let's say 65% of the world Arab land, like lands you can use for farming and what all those things are from Africa. So, but if you look at it, so far we've been able to achieve so much with all these vast resources we have. Okay, from time immemorial, we had some civilization, but up till now, we're supposed to be maybe major producers, maybe not just exporters, but in recent times, we do more of exports and production. So this is why it is important for us to be in an organization like this, so we can know what we have at our disposal, so that we can use it for our own benefit. So I want to encourage all of us, look around you. I believe in starting from home. Around you, there are things that you can harness. I remember a time, yes, and even solar energy too. We have a lot of sunshine here, and we should not allow it to waste. There was a time I was okay. I had a fan that was rechargeable. I could use solar to charge it. I was so happy. I was like, wow. So I'm maximizing the sun's energy. What other things can I use the sun's energy to maximize? Like maybe electricity. You don't need to bother about light. And you can use it to power your fridge, you can use it to power your, if you can even get to a point where your industry runs on solar, I mean, you are free from fuel and all those things. But the problem is these things, why some of them are already here, some are not yet produced, and some of them that are available are quite exorbitant. So they call for us to look inwards and see what we can do about Africa. Okay, so I'll also like to talk about, like, Africa is a young continent. What that means is that majority of African population is made up of young people, and we know that young people are quite inquisitive. Okay, let's say about 40% of African population are 15 years and younger. Then about 60-70% of African population are under the age of 30. So this is also a potential that we can harness. Like, young people are always inquisitive, they want to learn, they want to produce, like they want to know why things are the way they are. One thing that young people are blessed with is inquisitiveness, like they want to know and then they explore, and in the process of exploring and trying to know, they get to produce things and stumble on things. So just like the person that produced penicillin, like he wasn't out to just produce it. It was just from all these experiments, and he stumbled on something that could help the world. So Africa also has potential of young people. That's a potential that we can harness. So there are actually some young people that have achieved a lot of things. Someone like Jitan Jitanjai, when he was 12, that was when he created a device, carbon nanotubes. Those ones you use it to detect leaking water from pipes. So that was what he used to produce that. Someone like William from Malawi, when he was 14 years, he built a windmill for his community for electricity. And he built it from scraps like old metal, tractor parts, all these things which were around. So you can actually also utilize renewable resources, like maybe some people get plastic bottles, they shape it into something else. So like really there are so many things, that raw materials that we have around, that we will harness them so much we can utilize them. Someone like Luis, when he was 15, he developed braille that blind people use, because he lost his sight at that age, because he didn't allow his disability to pull him down. He was able to utilize it and produce something exciting. So I can go on and on about many people that. Okay, so I can go on and on about many people that are young and still produce things. Someone like Godwin, when he was 19, he launched a club, the STEM club, and this club is related to science, technology, engineering, mathematics, just to help in education, technology, to help those kind of schools to educate young minds about the importance of having science, technology at our disposal. Okay, just look at it. Before you can develop something, you have to discover a problem. Just like as we've been talking now, I've noticed the problem already. We had network glitches that, okay, so as the speaker could not continue because he had a network glitch. So this is what someone can just decide, okay, this is why this happened. Okay, how can I make it better? When you have that inquisitiveness within you, okay, how can I make this better? So you need to start researching, and as you're researching, you're able to find out something that can be better. Okay, some like here we have Starlinks, they are a company that helps you to make your network better, like they solve the network problem for them to subscribe to their company, whatever, is kind of costly too. So it's really out of reach. So but when we have more people into this kind of production, it will help it to be readily affordable to even the common man, and you have the place where you have network, or even in the villages. Somewhere like telemedicine in Africa, you may not be able to thrive well if you don't tackle the issue of network. Because if you want to do a telemedicine where you want to consult people over the phone and they don't have network, you cannot be able to do that. But when we solve that problem, so that we're solving other problems that we didn't even know happened. Like in some villages, they don't have access to healthcare, but had you been things like this were available, readily affordable, then even the common man, even the villagers in our villages can actually access healthcare and will not have the kind of death toll we have in these days and time. So this is why it is important that first of all, know that we are Africans and we have a lot of natural resources, and then maximizing our young mind, our potential, our inquisitiveness, our desire to see things better can make us to produce greater things. People have done it before, can also do it again. So in line with what Godwin did, he had a STEM club. Now we also have in our time the Pan-African Science Hub, headed by Mr. Pius, where we organize mentorship programs, discuss research options, create workshops, science fair, just community projects, bring scholarships to our doorstep, just to bring us together to see if we can achieve this goal of the African man, to be able to get an Africa that is better, an Africa that is maximizing her natural resources. So this is a great step. I must commend this hub for putting these things together. Is a startup organization, and when in the days of small beginning, it may look like, are we even getting there? But with time, you see that it will become a global force that can be reckoned with. So as we have members of PASH here, I'll also advise you to get your other people, get them like-minded persons to join. And by the time we rub minds together, look at problems, try to come up with solutions, we try to even seek help from wherever we can to be able to get things. Before you know it, we are getting the Africa of our dreams. So I would like to close out by saying that being in PASH is a good step towards having an Africa that is developed, towards having an Africa of our dreams, towards having an Africa that is not just wasting natural resources, but actually maximizing them, even for the benefit of its indigents. So as we've come on board, let us put our heads together and see what we can do to make Africa a better society. Thank you for having me.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Chiamaka from Nigeria. All the way we are crossing borders. We are connecting from border to border. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.